Have you ever wondered why?
When?
How much?
What if?
Well, you're in luck, because you're listening to the Hypotheticast.
3 best buds.
On a mission.
To ask all the questions?
And get all the answers.
I was born with both guns blazing, and I do think I'm amazing. You got the dignity to feel a little about yourself. I don't care what your preacher says. I got my own vicious ways. Only got one commandment and it goes, I'm killing it. I'm killing it. I'm killing it.
Linty shrimps to us all.
Yes.
Greetings, my Linty shrimps.
That's a name for our fans now.
I think we can call them that. We haven't called them Hypotheticats in a long time, so I
Yeah.
think it has been unofficially retired. And I think now, in this new era of Raynee owning the podcast,
Yeah.
I'm back.
you're
Yeah.
back. We're back.
Rainee's
We're
back.
here.
We're back.
This is now called the Linty Shrimp Cast.
Yeah, I'm David.
I'm Emily.
Mike also.
And then Rainee's here because they liked me, so they invited me back again.
yeah, we liked you
Yeah.
We've gathered in Emily's basement
It's been a long
because it's
time.
cooler than our house.
in every way.
In every sense of the word
Oh,
cool.
I don't know.
Yeah,
We would
that-
not hype up this basement that much.
Wow,
People
come
are going to
see
be
this
disappointed.
basement at 37. What is your... I'm not giving it
Wow,
away.
just give away her
I'm
address.
not going to tell.
Hypotheticast way.
We only give out our address on the show, not yours.
We are accepting fan mail, by the way.
Yep.
Mail it to.
Mail it to 1-800, give me that mail.
Give me that mail. Rainey, what kind of gifts would you like to get for the podcast?
You can have them sent to our house if you want.
Your house, okay. Large, very large things.
Yes, large things. That's what I want. Large things.
That is the best answer.
If it's not being sent to
Just big.
my apartment, just
Whatever
big.
it's big.
Large
Good.
things.
Wow. I'm looking forward to receiving a bouncy castle in the mail. I think that will be very fun.
Go great with your skull. Just put that
I think
on
it
the front.
would, yeah. So today on your podcast, Rainey,
My
we decided
podcast.
to bring you a gift as tribute, as a thanks for letting us be on your show again. And we are going to let you answer a very simple question.
Ooh, I'm ready for this.
Would you guest host it? And this, of course, is the game Would You Blanket, which we used to play all the dang time, and we don't play as much anymore.
Isn't that where we ask questions about blankets?
Yeah, it's that, but it's also sometimes a little twist on it.
Oh.
Usually it's where we ask questions about blankets.
Yeah,
but
that's what I
every
thought.
now and then we switch it up
Okay.
and we do a thing where we fill in that blank. It's a fun joke based on the word blanket.
Okay. I like fun jokes.
I like confusing our audience, I think is what I like.
Yeah.
So that's a game. We love it. Rainey loves it. And we're going to play it. And Rainey, you're going to be the subject. And
Would
that's
I
gonna
guest
be
host
fun.
it?
Would
So
you
we
guest
will
host
we'll
it?
fill in some deets
Yeah.
as you go, trying to change your answer from yes to no and back and forth
Yeah.
again.
Or from no to yes, exactly. Trying to find that perfect,
Perfect
equilibrium right in the
That's
middle.
what we go for.
That's what we want here.
So
Emily, do you want to
I'll set it
open
up.
it up?
I'll set it up.
Yeah.
And
So-
you're not weirded out by feet, are you?
not at all.
Perfect. Okay.
That was completely... Rainey is wearing shoes and is actually standing in another room. That was just a random question. But it's good to ask.
Well, I just wanted to make sure my not at all. I just want to clarify. I didn't mean not at all in a in fact, the opposite.
Send
kind of
us feet
way.
pics.
No, I just mean you're totally fine. You win a contest, and the prize is to guest host a podcast.
Wow.
So the hosts reach out to you and say, all right, great. We're ready to schedule. So if you're interested in doing this, they just talk logistics and they're like, so this is the time and date. We will be recording for approximately 3 hours and it's a heat wave, but we don't have air conditioning. Would you guest host
Okay.
it?
Do I listen to this podcast?
I'm gonna say no, because I think that leaves us more potential.
Sure. Or how about this?
to make it
You
into a
have
wild
listened
thing,
to a couple of episodes.
Okay.
You've gotten a slight idea
Like a little
for it, but you're
taste.
not super familiar with it. You don't know the host very well.
The contest you won was in your favorite cereal. There was a little token in your cereal that said you're going to be on a podcast.
Is that a contest?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. They call them contests.
Yeah,
You don't have to
sure.
do anything. You
Yeah,
just
right.
eat cereal.
You just have to reach
and
in
not
that
swallow the
bag.
token.
Oh, it's so hard though. It looks so good.
I think I would. Yeah.
Yeah.
Brave in the heat.
Yeah, it's okay to be sweaty on a podcast. He says.
No one can see
because
me,
I'm always
so-
telling you, no one can see you.
And I sweat all day at work anyways because we have bad AC. So
Aw. Well,
it's just work continued.
you've agreed to be on the podcast. That's great.
Right.
And Emily, did you mention how many hosts there were, or is that up to me?
3.
There are 3. Huh, that sounds familiar. So you say yes. You've never really met these people in real life, but you got kind of a vibe of what the show was about. And the show is it's kind of like a garage talk weird news podcast.
Okay.
They really jump all over the place.
Okay.
Sometimes they're talking about a cryptid sighting. Sometimes they're talking about some weird political thing that happened. Sometimes they're talking about taxes. Like, who knows? They get all over. And one of the hosts, his whole thing is insulting people as a joke.
Okay.
The co-hosts and the person that guests, if they have guests, and it's established, and it's like he's like, this is my bit, I'm not a mean person, I just gotta rip people apart.
Okay.
Because it's so funny and the fans go nuts for it.
Okay.
He's basically Triumph the Insult Comic Dog.
It's good when someone says, I'm not a mean person.
Yeah, it's like I'm not a
That's
racist,
like a
but
good
my bit
sign when
is.
someone
It's
clarifies
like,
that.
"Ugh." Yeah, that's gonna be the thing. No matter what, this person's gonna insult you pretty much whenever they're talking to you on the show for fun. So it might be kind of funny, but it might hurt your feelings. Would you guest host it?
Do I know this? Like, I'm not there yet. I'm
No, you're not
deciding.
there yet. You just know that this is the vibe.
I think I still would.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I
Brave it.
Yeah, I'm pretty good at finding the humor in things. I think
Mm-hmm.
so.
So far, 2 very brave choices. You're going to be sweaty and hopefully not feeling bad about yourself.
Do I know what like my role will be in this?
That's a good question. I bet Mike can answer that.
Well, you go to the podcast to start recording, and they're like, yeah, so we literally do record in the garage. And so 2 of the co-hosts meet you, and you go into the garage, and you discover that the third co-host is literally just a mannequin, but they refer to the mannequin as if it's the third co-host.
Amazing.
Okay.
And then and sometimes they will do the voice of the third co-host, and it's clearly just one of they alternate. One of them just talks, but they're like, sorry about Steven is kind of like a diva. Like, don't interrupt him ever. Like, he is kind of like. We really want him to stay on the podcast because
He's got a lot of clout.
he really is like the heart and soul of it. And there's all these like stipulations about like don't look Steven in the eye, like don't sit too close to Steven. And so like so they're getting prepped for the podcast, and you have the option to maybe walk out at this point. But yeah, you got to decide if Steven is something that you're okay with.
So do all the fans think that there's 3 people?
Yeah.
Okay, so it's convincing enough that they think that there's 3 people.
Yeah.
You could
Okay.
myth bust this shit.
I think I would still go for it.
Mm-hmm.
Just because I feel like a worst case scenario, I would kind of just sit there. Yeah, so I can be like, oh wait, so there's not 3 people, and now I want to see how the heck this works. So I think my
Yeah.
curiosity at this point, like
Okay.
if I had listened to a couple episodes to be like, okay, what the heck am I getting into? I won this contest, and then I was like, oh, there's 3 hosts. Okay, I'm going to go into it. Probably get like some jokes made about me, dumb blonde, blah, used to it.
Blah.
And then I got there, and then one of them's a mannequin. I'm like, all right, I'm ready for this. I'm going to be sweaty, and I'm going to figure out who this third person is.
Steven.
Okay.
I love Steven.
So you're settling in. They're like getting all the sound equipment set up. And one of the hosts sits down and is like, okay, so we have a really good theme for this week's episode. So I just want you to be prepared, and maybe you can like look at some of these images just to, like get ready. The theme
I like where
is
this is going.
rate these Boobs. And it's a bunch of it's just like pictures of boobs, and so you guys are gonna rate them and talk about it. And because it's a podcast, there's gonna have to be a lot of describing of them,
or none.
Yeah, just 5, 7, 4,
47, 12%.
Yeah, who even knows the scale?
So yeah, do you stick around? You're about to start recording in a couple minutes.
Okay. Can I just quick ask, like, what is the name of this podcast? It has to have a name, and no one has said what it is.
That's fair. That's fair.
It doesn't
What
have to
is
be.
it
It's called
but-
Junk in the Bunk, because they call the garage the bunker, and they call their talk junk. They call it like it's time to talk junk.
That was
Junk in the Bunk.
That is absolutely what it's called.
Yeah.
And-
I knew the whole time.
Yeah, that's good. And so now, it's all that's happening.
Okay. All right. I think
Also, the name of it is Junk in the Bunk.
I would
so
probably-
you can dip out if you want.
I had I known that was the name of the podcast, my answer might have been
Trapped
That could be
different.
mine if
by
you want.
saying-
Pretend I didn't say Junk in the
Too
Bunk
late.
yet.
It's out there now. It's out there.
You somehow have avoided noticing that the podcast name is Junk in the Bunk.
I would probably start with follow-up questions like, do said boob owners know this is what's happening with these photos of their boobs?
Yeah, definitely.
I think no, they are like you don't see the face attached to them. They're like anonymous boobs.
But like, were the photos used with consent of the models? Is I think what Raynee's asking.
yes.
Okay.
Okay, well that's surprising for a show named Junk in the Bunk.
Would said models, are they like gonna like, well, I guess we don't know. Yeah, I probably would stick around.
Yes. Okay.
So the whole
Great.
theme of this episode is
Yeah,
I would
rape-
probably
But as we know, a themed episode doesn't necessarily mean that's all that's going to get
they
talked
could do some
about.
would you rather's about rape.
But like,
boobs
one, I'm
or-
not scared of boobs. I don't know. Some people
well,
are.
it can't be. Yeah, some
Two,
people
I'd
are.
probably like try to be very positive about all these boobs.
Yeah,
Like,
reinforce.
You can bring in like a feminist
these are
twist.
Little boobs. Little boobs have so much good benefits, and like I'd probably try to help
Yeah,
them
it's
out.
good.
Yeah.
I like that.
Okay.
That's great. Okay, so you're still in. So far, lots of yeses to being on this episode of Junk in the Bunk. Rodney, the tall.
Is this the insulty dude or no?
No. The insulty dude's name is Jackson.
So we have Jackson, Rodney, and
Steven. Well, we have Jackson and Rodney and a mannequin
And
named
Steven.
And, Rodney, who's the tall. I'd say he's like kind of the main host.
Okay.
He's the grounded one that like introduces the show. Jackson's going off with his insult comedy, and then both of them are pretending to be Steven the Diva. So I'm not really sure what Steven the Diva's personality is besides a diva, which is cool. That's fun. He says to you, okay, so as I'm sure you read in the 30-page long contract that we sent to you in that email, the end user license agreement or whatever it's called that we expected you to read, we all do acid before we record. Is that cool? You're down, right? Big Rodney says that to you. He's big
I
Rod.
probably would be like, well, just skimmed it, missed that. Not gonna do acid. Sorry.
Not gonna do acid on
I
a
would say,
podcast
like,
with strangers.
if you are going to do acid, it
Fair.
shouldn't be in a garage with two
During a
guys that
heat
you don't
wave.
know
Guys
and a
and a
mannequin.
mannequin.
During a heat
During a
wave.
heat wave. Oh,
Exactly.
yeah, I
No,
think
no, no.
that
Rating
is
boobs.
a
Yeah.
recipe for death. Like, for
Yeah.
sure. Whew.
Okay.
Yeah.
She's out on the acid.
Out on the acid. You know what? That's fair.
So they are like scrounging through their pockets to try to find the acid because they're like, I thought you brought it, and they can't find it. And so
Steven, did
suddenly,
you
like
leave the acid
the
at the
door to the
house
main house opens, and it's what's their name?
Rodney.
and
Stephen, Rodney, and
Jackson.
Jackson. Yeah.
Jackson. Okay. Jackson's mom comes in.
She's got it going
And
on.
Jackson's like, Mom, I'm recording my podcast.
How
Oh,
old
no.
are
Yeah, wait a
Rodney
minute.
and Jackson?
They're 15. Twist. Bam. No, it's up to Mike. Mike's running this
They're
one.
like they're like mid-20s.
Okay.
Yeah. So well, let's say they're even older. They're actually
Yeah.
mid-30s.
They have
That's what I
more
wanted
of
to,
like
yeah.
middle age. Yeah.
Yeah, mid-20s, early 20s is like college age. That's too young.
Too
They're
young.
they're mid 30s.
Okay.
But Rodney, no, who's Jackson? Jackson's house is the one, and he lives with his mom apparently.
Nice.
And she's like, I told you guys if you were gonna do a podcast, you had to let me be on it too.
Oh,
and so
yes.
she's like, I'm gonna be on this
Yes.
podcast. What are we talking about today?
Oh my God,
and then
she's awesome.
so she seems kind of gruff, but like she might be able to keep these guys in line.
Do they like hide the acid?
Well, they never even found it.
Oh, okay.
Apparently,
Yeah,
They
Steven left it back at the
apparently
apartment.
couldn't find the acid, so that's off the table, I guess. At this point, his mom, Betsyross, is gonna be.
All one word though.
Yeah. Her first name is Betsyross. Yeah.
And her last name is Galaxy because this is Jackson Galaxy.
Sure, yeah,
the
yeah.
cat guy.
Yeah. So she's gonna be in the mix.
Okay. Well, then I think I would be back in because I'm like, well, you can't get too insulty and mean if your mom's there.
Yeah.
So, and no acid will happen
No
Probably
acid.
not.
No
Unless
acid.
she has some.
unless she has
Yeah,
them.
maybe she brought it.
I don't know. We'll see.
Okay. So you right before you're about everything is set
Oh my
up.
God.
They pull around the chairs and you sit down in front of your microphone and it smells
Oh no.
like farts.
Farts.
Like
Not
very,
farts. Not
very
farts.
intensely. And you
Oh.
you think after like, a few seconds you think maybe it'll like fade or something and it doesn't. Do you cut and run? Do you stay?
So it's hot. I'm going to be insulted. There's a mannequin and it smells like farts. I guess.
And it smells like
What kind of
farts.
contest was this?
I know. How did these guys get in a cereal box?
Yeah.
I guess it kind of depends on like what the conversation has been. Like, has it been like good conversation? We're kind of joking and laughing and it's been like a good time, or has it been awkward the entire time?
Let's say you've been surprisingly at ease considering.
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's just put it that way. It's not like sparkling conversation. You're not like vibing like these are my new BFFs. But considering all the weirdness, you actually do feel like quite comfortable with them.
Especially Steven. He seems like a nice guy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Got a good chemistry.
Yeah, if I'm like in like a positive headspace, I would probably I might excuse myself to go use the bathroom to confirm that it is permanently fart smell. Like I'll go to the bathroom, get some water, come back in.
Get some water and soap and maybe like put it on the microphone and like wash it off.
Maybe you could find like
Like for the hand sanitizer that's really smelly. I'm like,
Yeah.
just like put some under
right
your
up in
nose.
my
There you
nose.
go.
Yeah.
Smart.
Yeah, and do that really smelly chapstick. Yeah.
Nice. It's worth it for the fame to be on this show. It's really going to be good.
Like I'm assuming they have like thousands of
I hope
reviews
so. If they're running a contest to
on
be
a
on
cereal
their show.
box.
Yeah, they got it in cereal. I
Yeah.
don't know what cereal.
Magic
But-
spoon.
True.
What is that?
Magic
Are
spoon.
you serious?
I don't know.
Magic
I know.
Spoon is like
Spoon is.
sponsoring every podcast I listen to right
Is
now.
it a cereal?
Yeah, it's like a
Yes.
protein cereal.
It's supposed to
never
heard of
taste like fun sweet cereal, but it's not as bad for you.
Oh, fun.
It's like protein, but
That's great.
no sugar.
I mean, that sounds like my dream. I kind of want that.
Now they're sponsoring our podcast.
Yeah, this podcast is brought to you by Mad Spoon. Okay, so it's my turn. Raynee, you're still in. Against all odds, against many, many things. You start recording. Finally, you're in it. They hit the button, and Jackson, of course, because he kind of transforms. Jackson Galaxy. And to help you all picture him, it's Jackson Galaxy, the cat guy, but he's
Don't know who
also
that
on this
is.
podcast.
Oh,
I don't know who that
He's
is.
a TV personality who's also written books, but he's like
Yeah.
a cat behavioral specialist.
Yeah, he like
Okay.
fixes your crazy. What's his show where he like, your cat from hell, and he comes and he like
Something
fixes
like
it.
that, yeah.
I don't know. He has like, I think he shaves his sideburns really fun.
Yeah.
and maybe wears like flame shirts.
I
And
think
also
I'm
his
familiar
name
with
is
Yeah.
Jackson
Galaxy is an amazing name.
That clues you in to
Yeah.
the general
that.
vibe.
Is he friends with Paul Hollywood?
Did you find a picture of it?
Yes.
Yeah, so that's him.
He transforms into his like insult comic
into his
character.
insult self,
Okay.
exactly, which
Okay.
is called Smackson Galaxy. No, he's still called Jackson, but it's a funny joke that I made. Jackson also pulls out from underneath the table a soundboard, and this is just peripheral. Like he's in the zone, and so anytime he makes a joke, he also has like fart sounds or boing sounds or like those shock jock DJ type things. He's got that going on, and anytime you or Jackson's mom, Betsyross Galaxy, start having a thought or get to the middle of a sentence, Jackson interrupts you to insult you.
I don't leave. I bottle up and I don't say anything.
You just shut it down?
You just like stop?
To be honest, that's what true Raynee
Sure,
would do.
yeah.
I would be too embarrassed to leave. I'd just be like, I'm just not gonna say. I'm just saying, all right,
opt
I'm
out.
good.
Slowly walk away from the table.
Yeah, just let his mom talk. Encourage her.
Yeah, just pump her up. She seems awesome. So yes, technically.
Yeah, but
you would
she doesn't
still
like
be
it.
there.
Still gonna
But
be
it's
there.
souring on it a
But
little
I'm
bit.
definitely souring. I'm not talking nearly as much.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Oh no.
All right. Well, the podcast keeps going, and then they're like, okay, now we're going to do the prank call section of the podcast. And they're like, since you're our guest, Raynee, we got our prank call list of all the people you know and love and work with. And so we're going to prank call them now. What do you think about that? Who should we call first?
This show.
No love and work with.
No love
Wait,
and
so is
work
the question,
with.
would you stay or who should we call?
It's a two-part question.
two-part.
Would you stay and
First,
who should we call?
who should we call?
Because we're going to do it either way.
I'm gonna assume I didn't know this was a segment.
Okay.
It might be in that 30-page like
Yeah,
thing
the
that you
30-page
skimmed,
thing.
yeah.
They don't do the same segments every week, so maybe I just
No.
didn't hear those ones.
Yeah.
I'm probably gonna say no. We're not. We're not going. But I'll be interrupted, and I wouldn't be able to say that.
Sure.
But that would put a stop
I would.
to
Yeah,
it.
I would probably
You don't want
not
that
want
to
to prank
happen.
call my loved ones.
Would you leave? If they just like started dialing anyway.
You could like unplug it.
Unplug.
Unplug the podcast.
Right? Truly think of like me, myself as a person. Like
Yeah.
the chances of me actually physically getting up and leaving, as opposed to just arguing my case, is varies. Like I would just be like no, and if they want to go to, I'd be like no. I don't. Yeah, I didn't give you my list, so you don't have those numbers.
Right.
Sure.
Yeah.
And then if they said like, all right, we'll do this or leave, then I'd be like, all right, peace.
Right, then
So
okay,
then
fine,
I would leave.
I'll
But like if
Bye.
they like just kept trudging through, I'd just awkwardly probably still sit there.
Okay. So yeah, let's say they said do this
or leave.
participate or leave.
And I would be like, all right.
Okay.
I'm
you
gonna go
would
out.
leave. You would get the heck out.
Yeah.
Wow.
Okay. So you're headed out.
Bye.
And then
Bye.
Betsyross Galaxy
Yes.
stops you. She like runs up and she's like, hey, wait a second. And you're like outside of the garage, like the guys can't
Did I
hear
go
what
through
you
the
guys are
house or
saying.
did the garage door open and I walk out?
That's a very important setting question.
I was
really
picturing
appreciate that.
garage door opening.
Okay.
And then you
Nice.
walk out.
It's good.
You
good,
wait
good
for it to go
Foley,
over.
too.
Yeah. And
Press that button. Wait.
so she stops you and she's like, hey, I want to apologize for them and their behavior. Like, it's my fault. I let them get away with too much. I'm too soft.
Betsy.
And
Ross.
I just want you to know that, like, I haven't had a lot of strong, kind women in my life that I've connected with. And I just think that you seem
my God.
like such a wonderful person. And I hope that, you know, I can get to know you and I could really use a friend
What's happening?
right now.
Are they gonna kiss?
They just want to be friends. She wants a friend.
Okay, that's fine.
And like, could you just to like help me through the rest of this? Could you stay
It's like torture.
for the rest of the episode, and then I will give you a piece of the fresh pie that I just made,
So tell me, but also I'm gonna bribe you.
and
Bye.
we can, and then we can sit and talk, just the two of us.
About pie.
Are we still going to do the prank call episode, or can we convince them to not do the prank call episode?
I feel like by the rules of the show, you still have to do
Yeah,
the prank
there's
call.
still
Do I
episode.
get to pick who we prank call?
Yes,
Yes.
that was a part of it. As Mike
Yeah,
said.
who do you want to call
How
first?
many people do I have to prank call?
3.
Okay, yeah, I'd stay.
Oh, Betsyross got
Betsy
her.
Ross.
I can prank call my
What's the
sister.
pie?
Now we all just get to daydream about your friendship with Betsyross.
Oh my God.
Galaxy.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Do you think that I really want to know Betsyross came into this segment,
our
onto
world.
this scene. Very, Mike described her as very gruff.
Yeah.
And then Emily took the character in a very meek,
sweet.
Well,
direction,
underneath the
which
gruffness
is, yeah,
is
exactly.
the shield.
Gruff doesn't
I
mean
love it.
mean.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly. And I love that like
the
it came
gruffness
down.
is her defense
The
against
garage
the
door
world,
went up,
and then like
and the barriers came down, and the
Exactly.
friendship
she
went
knew
across.
she needed
But this
to not let you
podcast truly
succeed.
sounds like the worst.
I feel like
Junk
I
in
feel
the
like
bunk sounds really bad.
Tanner is the Betsyross galaxy of the Hypotheticast.
Oh
Who's
yeah,
the Steven though?
I think I'm the Steven.
yeah. You're Steven.
Yeah, you're probably the
The
Steven.
diva.
You've been
are
the diva of the group.
Yeah, and it's actually never been a person. It's just me and Mike doing the voice alternating.
Really thought Steven was going to have more of a influence.
Yeah, no, it's
Steven just kind of just
He
was
just
there.
hangs out. Oh, Raynee, thank you so much for joining us on that beautiful journey.
yeah.
Thank you for
I
having
feel like
me.
you would knock that guest host spot on Junk in the Bunk out of the park.
That was such entrapment to reveal the name after he's already there. By the way, we're called Junk in the Bunk. I would never click play on that podcast.
Yeah, definitely. If I found that in my cereal, I'd be like,
If I had a token that said you're on Junk in the Bunk, I'd be like, I'm gonna torch the earth
Yeah.
this
I don't know.
came
There's
from.
some bad podcast names out there that aren't bad shows.
That's true, but I feel like there's a very slim chance that a show called
Yeah.
unless it was literally, I guess I could see it being like
let's
people finding
imagine.
underground bunkers and like finding
Oh.
weird
Yep.
stuff in
That
them.
would be
Ooh,
that
cool.
actually would
Underground
be
Bunker
cool.
podcast. I wish that was real.
Yeah.
That'd
Yeah.
be sweet.
There we go.
Junk
We
in
can
the
make
Bunk.
Junk in the
Okay.
Bunk.
Yeah.
Next week on
Junk in the Bunk.
Junkatheticast.
Junk in the Bunkathast.
Oh no! Oh my god!
Bunkathunkicast.
Thunk in the bunk.
Like
Yikes! Wow!
Bunkathunkicast play a lot of Tubthumpin.
Tubthumpin by Bunkathunkicast.
Oh, it's so
Wow.
good.
Oof.
So I do want to say that we have one more segment, and it's called No Questions Asked, and it is the time of the show where we ask one question, but no other ones. And Raynee has it on her little phone right
Little
there.
phone,
Her
tiny phone.
tiny little phone. She's got a
tiny
regular
phone.
size phone and
Smallest
then
phone
a
on
tiny
the market.
one.
All right. No questions asked. Would you rather never be able to order out again, food, or only be able to walk backwards?
Whoa!
Never order out.
order out. This is gonna be harder for Emily though.
No questions.
No questions.
Never be able to order out.
Yeah. Okay. Bye. Have fun.
I'm marching, cause I'm gonna
Theme music by Jaden James and the Hunger. Logo by Christian Hagen. Edited by David Gucci. If you want more of our hypothetical content, join our Facebook group or like our posts on Twitter or Instagram or give us some stars and a review on iTunes or wherever the heck you get your podcasts.
Can I do curbside pickup?
No questions asked, Mike.
No questions
Podcast over. We always
asked.
talk about it for half an hour
Yeah.
after the
Questions
podcast ends.
That's the big secret of this podcast.
We should do prank call segments. Should we
That
do
is
that?
what I've learned from having done
Yeah,
this. We
let's
should do
do some
more
prank
prank
calls.
calls.